Relax, honey. Change is good. Not always easy to deal with. As we have this image of the Grim Reaper with his arm around the husband. Change. Probably a little more frightening than we often want to admit. Leadership in the change process. Let's go jump off a cliff and swim to the other side. It'll be much better over there. Look at that cliff. How far is the other side? What are the kinds of responses we might get? I can, but I won't. I can't, and I won't. I can't, but I will. I can, and will. How do we get people to that last response? I can do this, and I will do this. So you want me to do what? So why change? Other kinds of responses, forget it, bud. Horror. Fright. Perhaps you get a smirk. We've heard this before. We've heard this kind of thing before. A little bit of a tear. What's my old life is ending. Perhaps you just get laughed at. Maybe someone's just too tired to even care about change. But whatever it is, there's a lot of reactions to and pushback regarding to any desire for change. There's 3 levels of change: first, second, and third order. The first order, thinking within the box. Now sometimes that's not so bad. It's cosmetic changes. I used to think that was the thing is within the box. That's called someone doing their job. Second order change, thinking outside the box. So one really needs a cultural shift. How to not just do their jobs they used to, but maybe there's new avenues, new ways of proceeding that are being asked of teachers to help not be so boxed in, to create a new order of change. The third order of change is to throw the box out entirely. And that's about total transformation. This is where you get the biggest bang for your buck. This is where we're really asked to really talk about transformation. Leading change. Again, from Machiavelli. It should be borne in mind that there is nothing more difficult to manage or more doubtful of success or more dangerous to handle than to take the lead in introducing a new order of things. In 1532, Machiavelli knew something about human nature, the difficulty of introducing change. For the innovator has enemies, and all those who are doing well under the old order, and only lukewarm defenders in all those who would do well under the new order. You really don't get a lot of buy-in from anyone, do you? Thus it happens that whenever his enemies have the opportunity to attack the innovator, they do so with zeal, so that the innovator is put in danger. Innovation. Innovation is the antithesis of remaining the same. And yet there's such a strong desire to keep the status quo alive. Because change is hard, change is difficult. But if we really believe it, change is also transformative and life-giving. A vision of what might be plus dissatisfaction of what is must be greater than the cost of change. And this is what we have with Albion Robbins. Lincoln's dissatisfaction with slavery, dissatisfaction with a country coming apart was greater than the war he was going to have to battle. Being is easier than becoming. Uncomfortable change becomes punishing, and rational people don't continue activities that are more painful than they are rewarding. So why should schools change? Perhaps we can start looking at that at our next class. Let's look at where things are going, the flow of ideas. Does change need to happen for us to respond to that? Things are changing with public schools, private religious schools, charter schools, home schools, virtual schools. Where are we heading into the future? What's next? Are we ready to respond to that what next? Is that a reason to change? I think if we didn't change, our classrooms would kind of look like they do in the upper left-hand corner. Be attentive to what your classroom looks like today. What might it look like tomorrow? Let's talk about change at our next class.